What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. This is my reaction video to Married at First Sight. This is season 15, episode 1, I believe. Excuse me, season 16, episode 1. And before I get started, for those who are new to my channel, I do a review of reality shows. I don't hit every scene. I usually pick out particular details and details you may not have seen. And as in my intro, I am YouTube's #1 commenter. So on this channel, it's all about the comments. But this is a new year in 2023. I do need y'all to hit that like button when you're coming in so we can push this product out, because your boy J Dub ain't in the algorithm like he need to, and we need to get it out there so we can get those good comments in. So for those who are familiar with my Married at First Sight reviews, I normally do couple by couple, but we just kind of starting out, so it's more of introducing the couples, and actually they're only showing at close to the end of the video. They are the episode they're showing Shaquille and Kirsten's wedding. So what I'm gonna do is just give you my thoughts, predictions, anything I feel about the couples individually just on this one video. And then when we able to kind of, I guess, break it down and get couple by couple, it normally happens around the honeymoon, because they're going to drag these weddings out for probably 3 weeks to a month. So let's get started. The first couple we're gonna go with Eris and Jasmine. Now, Eris, he's 39, and Jasmine is 31. She's going to turn 32 on the show because it's her birthday, like in a couple days. And let me tell you what I think about Eris. Like, Eris is 39. To me, he looks and sometimes behaves like he's 25. I mean, it's good to look that young and be that older. And I just, it's some red flags popping up, or some concerns. I don't want to go too hard on him. There's some concerns that's initially coming up. He has truly never been in a committed relationship. He's been hurt before, but more so that was about maybe 11 years ago or so, when he was 28, and he hasn't recovered. He's been playing the field for 11 years plus, and he's never lived with a woman, and that's really, really concerning to me, because at this point, at 40, again, age is just a number, but at this point, when you're ready to settle down and be in an arranged marriage, you got to have yourself together, especially mentally. And I don't know if he's dead. He's just pretty much saying like he's tired of running the streets, ain't nothing out there, which is true, but at the same time, is he truly ready? And in this segment, when Eris was telling his, I guess, friends and family, what really concerned me or stuck out so much is that he has a cousin, a protective cousin, and she's kind of aggressive, if I can use the word. I know black women don't like to use the word aggressive. She's a bit overprotective, if you will, and it's almost like she is overly concerned about him. At this point, when is this man supposed to get married? I agree with her, just for the points that we just said. We just said, hey, you never lived with a woman, you never had a significant relationship, you're 39, and you're just going to leave the playing field, go right into marriage. Probably not. She's right, but she's too forceful. Sometimes in this life, with your children, your family members, you have to allow them to make those mistakes, because some people, don't take that advice and just and keep it if it's right. Sometimes they gotta stick their hand in the fire, and they gotta know for themselves. The smarter person takes the advice, but a lot of times people gotta see it for themselves. And it's an old saying: only you know when you've had enough. So, you'll know. They ain't got somebody else ain't got to tell you. So it's just kind of alarming. She's like you can't do this. It's almost like he's looking down, like he can't like face her or whatever. It's like that's coming on a bit strong. Maybe it's just her personality, but let's get on to Jasmine. Again, Jasmine's 31. She'll be 32 in a minute. She's a cheerleader coach. She says she works 6 days a week doing so, and she also has a passion for beauty. She's a beauty queen, and I was kind of surprised, being in the beauty pageant industry. It's like you almost have to be perfect if there's such a thing. And then when I looked at the bottom row of Jasmine teeth, I don't know how she even won the contest because I mean they. What can I tell you? They tore down, and again, in that kind of particular thing. And even when she laughed, she didn't even have a side tooth. So I mean, that usually comes later in the game. But Jasmine was 31, 32 years old. Just gotta, I mean, I gotta say what I see. I know I'm rough on people, but that's the motto of this channel. Say what you say. So I don't feel bad in saying that, but it just surprised me. But overall, she seems like there's nothing wrong with her beauty. She's got that, but I'm concerned about her working so much. Like I'm not sure if she's still in the beauty pageant industry, but looks like that's still something she does, and she's working 6 days a week. I don't know if that's going to be an issue as far as coming together, because I think that's a concern for all people. Like if you're a workaholic or just a person who works more than normal, trying to build a new relationship is going to be tough when you're not feeding that relationship. It's different when people have been together for a while, know each other, know the nuances, and already had built that bond. When you go on all the time, how can you build something? But she believes that she's ready, and she wants a man who's as committed as she was, because that's what she feels why she's single, because all the men that she's wasted her time with weren't up to the commitment. So we're gonna see about them. Who we gonna move on to next? Let's go with Nicole and Chris. That's Nicole and Chris, the lovely couple. Nicole is 32. I don't remember how old Chris was. Maybe about 35 or something. We're gonna just go with that. I'm still learning people and all that. Now Nicole, she's an Italian weightlifter, but no, I don't know if she's a weightlifter. She got her. Look at my arms on this camera. Look like our arms look the same. She looked built. She looked strong. That's what I'm gonna say. She looks strong. And one thing I noticed about her, that she is really an over talker. She is actually not originally from Tennessee. She is originally from New York, and she plays plastic puppet theater with her dog, Charlie. When I'm looking at Charlie didn't look like he was interested, but maybe that's one reason why she's single. She's spending time with the plastic dolls with Charlie. But what I can say that I really like about her, what stuck out to me, is that like how she's determined that her marriage is going to work. Like she's staying positive, just saying like, hey, I don't even want to speak like it's not going to work. It's going to work. And on decision day, I'm going to leave my husband tied up. I know she was joking, but she is just so determined to make that work. Now, with her husband, Chris, Mr. Nice Guy, Chris has never lived with a woman. Chris does awful impressions of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. When he's like, get to the chopper, all that. Nicole ain't even going to know what he's talking about. But, okay, I don't know who he thought that was funny, but I guess somebody told him that. But, sometimes people aren't aware of this self. But, Nicole has put it out there like it's very important for her to be in a relationship, and she actually hasn't had sex since she's been in Nashville. And that's been about 2 years. So, they saying that she wound up, and looking at the bachelorette party, she was wound up. I mean, she was out there getting buck. Wow, she was the first volunteer to get with the strippers. I mean, she took actual body shots. When I say body shots, I don't mean the shot glass. She put the drink in the man's chest area and sucked it up. And she still said, I'm still single like a dollar bill. So, let her husband get with that. And wow, that's going to be a time. And why that's something is that Chris is like just the opposite. Chris cut all relationship and ties with women once his ink hit the page of the Married at First Sight application. He actually hadn't had sex in about a year. But I really think Nicole is going to be way, way too much for Chris. Like, she's going to need somebody, as she said, to kind of reel her in. You know, some people get offended by that, you know, because they say, I want a man that handles me. That's what she's saying in a sense and being nice because she knows she's over the top. Like, so much she actually needs a code word to bring her down because she knows she's over the top and she's going to be that. So I guess she's going to need somebody a little bit stronger than Chris. It just Chris looks so like afraid and uncomfortable, like everything at the bachelor party. He's just looking like he's uncomfortable and scared and all that. And I get that because I mean, looking at the strippers they bought, who want to get have some fun with them. I don't know, but yeah, it's gonna be a time, and I'm gonna say it like this: my prediction with them, they are the scapegoat couple. One usually have one or two that they look for the drama, or they know they're gonna fail. They claim, oh, we put these two together because Nicole's been treated so poorly by men, and Chris is such a nice guy. He's gonna treat her so wonderful and all that. She's gonna run all over Chris, and I don't think it's gonna be good. So what else, what do they have in common? They haven't had sex for a year plus, each of them. So uh, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't see it for this couple at all. I don't at all. And I definitely want to know what y'all think about that. That just could be me, just thinking negatively or being harsh, because that's what I do sometimes. The next couple we have, Clint and Gina. Now, these are the seniors of the group. And Clint is 40. He looks 50. And Gina is 35. I don't know what Clint does. I know he is a sail instructor. I don't know if he does that professionally. But talking to Pastor Cal, he's supposed to be well off and doing his thing. Now, Gina's 35. She is a salon owner and hairstylist. And she's actually opening a brand new salon. Now, which I think that is very great. However, I don't know if the timing is right. Like, she's getting ready to get in a brand new marriage, arranged marriage, experiment, and now she's going to have to be married to two people, because if you're opening a brand new business, that's your baby, that's your spouse. You got to be dedicated. Like, it ain't no hours when you're supposed to go home. You have to tend to it and get to it. She's going to be responsible for all of that, and I think that's going to be an issue. However, Clint wants to be, like I said, he wants to do the things that he wants to do. He wants to be independent, if you will. He wants to go sailing when he want to go to. If he want to be gone all day, all night, then, it actually might work. However, I can't say that their relationship is going to be strong and healthy. And at this point, this is what I think, not that 40 is like too old. However, I think a man who's 40 is going to be kind of stuck in his ways. And I don't think that, I just don't see him being as flexible as he needs to be. Like, he may say, yeah, I'm ready to settle down, but he probably have it all in his mind, how he wants things, how his wife is going to be and how she should be. And it's his way or the highway. And that's not going to work for Gina. And I know she's willing and open and flexible, but I just see these two like kind of bumping heads big time on this one, because they're older, but he's much older. I would say they're 5 years apart, but it's miles apart at this point. He probably needs a younger woman. That's what I'm going to say. Not that Gina isn't beautiful or anything like that. It's just that what they say, you can't teach old dog new tricks. So I think that's going to be a thing going on. And even Clint mentioned, like, he needs a wife that's pretty much going to roll with what he got going on. The man said if he want to go sailing for the whole weekend, his woman need to be down. And she's going to be busy. She got to attend to the hairstylist and the shop and all that. She's responsible for all that. Like, that may take years to, like, kind of, get settled or whatever. So we're going to see. So the next couple, we got Dominique and McKinley. I just want to say Mac. It just sounds too long. Dominique and McKinley. Now, with this couple, I think this is another fall couple. Why? Dominique is 25 years old. Now, from previous reviews, I told y'all, like, I don't think no one under 30 should be on this show. Again, Not that 30 is the magic number, but we got to stop somewhere. Like at 25, she's still developing mentally or trying to get things together and find out who she really is in real life. As you mature, you're gonna change about 4 or 5 times. You not that your core values are gonna be different, but as a person, you're gonna start to want different things. Your priorities are gonna change, and she's got some changing to do. So what she is now, she's gonna be different probably at 30 or better. So I just don't see it working. And what's like a red flag? One of the many red flags to me is that Dominique's mom signed her up. Like in real life, nobody can truly sign you up for a lifetime of commitment. Your mom can't do the work in you being married and putting things together and sacrificing and giving of yourself and being vulnerable and communicative. And that's just not going to work. She would initially would have to want that for herself, not your mom. It's like she wants me to be married. And I'm sure mom wants her to be married because Dominique put out another red flag. Every waking second, if she got some free time, she talking to her mother. She talking to her mother before she take a bath, when she eat her breakfast, when she get a lunch break, on the way to work, on the back to work, in the house, whenever. That's a mama's girl. Just like live with your mama. And guess what? That's okay. Because that's where you feel most comfortable. Your mother may need to do some more mothering to help her develop and grow. But that ain't it. And then the next red flag is that when mentioning like marriage, Dominique she's focused on girl time. She's not focused on like building with her husband. She want to know when the next brunch, when they going out. Even her girls like, your husband gonna be a problem. Like, even the other castmates could see like that's not it. And I mean, when they was at the bachelorette party, Dominique was like right there with the stripper. I mean, they talking face to face. Looked like they was going to exchange numbers or meet at the hotel for the after party or something like that. I mean, she ain't ready. She too young. Can you blame her? I mean, she not ready. Your mom signed you up. Her heart is not in this. And it's going to be a disaster. But let's get to McKinley. Mac, I want to call him. Both of them. McKinley, Mac, has been in Nashville for 4 months. I'm thinking, this is the first thing I'm thinking. How long ago did he sign up for the Married at First Sight process? Like, did they bring him to Nashville so he can be a part of the show? Or he was coming to Nashville, he filled it out somewhere else, and his application got transferred to Nashville? I'm like, that don't make sense. He don't even live on his own. He lives with not his family. He lives with a friend and his family, and they grown. Like, I don't know what they doing, bunk beds together or what. I don't know. But he got a Corvette outside washing it up. I mean, he looked real comfortable. And I'm thinking, like, you could already take on a wife. What if it don't work? Or what if it do work? Well, I guess he don't have to move nowhere. He don't have nothing. But I guess it'll work out for him. But it just don't sound right. He's not even there. And y'all know how I feel from any TV show. Yeah, it's okay for people to be people move all the time. But to me, in any show, if you want the essence, I need people who are like homegrown, who's lived there for a very long time. Maybe like some of their childhood up to the adulthood. It don't have to be from birth, but like people who've been there for 4 months or 2 years. That's not enough. You might as well go back to New York or wherever they came from. So, it's a mess, and it's like with McKinley, he's missing something. I can't call him Mr. Nice Guy. I might call him Mr. Naive. He's like talking about his most significant relationship was about 2 years, and his ex-girlfriend broke up with him. I mean, that comes, and that's natural. It happens. People break up, but she broke up him through text by showing him a ring and telling him that she's engaged to somebody else. So, like, obviously something is missing here. He was with someone, and she told him that she's engaged. So, obviously she had another relationship, or the relationship wasn't what he thought he was. So, It just don't sound good. And he uses the phrase which I hate, especially for shows like this. Like, again, you don't have to be perfect, but you're taking a leap forward. And when you start talking about, well, I need a partner to bring me out of my shell, I hate that term. If you want to be in your shell, stay in your shell until you're ready to come out. Don't expect somebody to bring you out of your shell, be your therapist and all that. That's a that's a super red flag. But uh, it something of it might just work that he's so nice and he'll just let her do a girls' night out 5 times a week and he just doesn't care. But the experts say they have a similar attachment style, so maybe they're gonna love each other. Maybe they're gonna love each other how they want to be loved. So that I don't know. It could work, but it would be more so the part that it would be all him giving in. But personally, I don't really think it'll work. So let's go on to the next couple, my favorite couple, Shaquille and Kirsten. And when I say my favorite couple, I don't mean because it's a good thing. It's like, to me, they're going to be the ones till I know it's going to be some drama. Like, um, initially, I thought they were a great match because it was like they're both educated. They're both professionals and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like also working on paper. And that's what it kind of works out. Because, like, to me, Kirsten comes off like just like the perfect candidate. They call her Miss Great Expectations, and she's a self-proclaimed picky person. She says it, she knows it. But more so, she's talking about food. But then she said, yeah, with men too, she's really kind of picky, and she's the probably the most attractive cast member on here. Country thick, uh, gorgeous woman, nice personality, all that going on. But I'm thinking she's going to want too much out of her spouse. And we see later that that is the case. But uh, something I guess I had a question on. It's just something, I pick on little details, whatever. I'm thinking like this lady is highly educated, that, she's got a couple of degrees and she just decides to be a realtor. Like, is that it? Because in real life, you can be a realtor without having a degree. Maybe she has a bigger plan. And there's no knock to realtor. Guess what? Your boy is aspiring to be a realtor, but I don't have 2 degrees, but it's a thing. So I don't know. It's just something I thought about it or whatever. Because education is a big part of her life, and she wants her husband to be that way. She wants her husband to be a spiritual man that attends church with her, and she wants him to have nice teeth. And we saw that her mom got really emotional about like saying how much she deserves love and everything. And I thought that was a pretty touching moment. Her mom looked pretty young, but I guess Kirsten isn't, or is it Kristen? It's Kirsten. Kirsten isn't that old. So I guess her mom would be young. Now, Shaquille, he says he's a workaholic, but he's right in line with Kirsten. He is a spiritual man, but he has a tragic story. And it kind of confused me. I didn't know which way it went because he was saying like they've been in a horrific car crash. His whole family had got ejected from a vehicle. And so I'm thinking that's where he got like that scar. It's almost like a skull fracture he got going on. And so it was so bad that he was caught. He woke up in a barbed wire fence. I could not imagine that, what he's talking about. And he was injured so badly that he couldn't play sports till I think he was till like the 8th grade or whatever. And it kind of led to like maybe his family didn't survive, but I thought I saw his mother with like her arm in a splint. So I hope everybody survived. But yes, that's something life changing, even at that being that young. And he's another transplant. His I don't know where he comes from, but none of his family is around or there. And I got a red flag with Shaquille. Yeah, he looks good on paper, but he brings around, I guess, his friends, as well as he also, when he went to the tuxedo shop, he brought his kids that he mentors or whatever in that little boys club. It looked a little funny. I ain't gonna go too deep and be too critical, but I'm just saying I'm gonna keep an eye on them. That's all I'm gonna say. I say what I say, but I don't want to go too deep. But he's looking for a ambitious and educated woman, God-fearing woman. So they kind of sound like they line up. But the closer and closer they got to the wedding, the more Kirsten didn't seem so much like she was that perfect woman, or like she was be true to herself. As she said, you got to listen to people. When people tell you who they are, believe them. She said she was picky, and boy, she started picking it apart. She like, oh, I don't want no bald head. I don't want no bald head. They gonna like rub his head. No, I need a low haircut. I need a nice beard. I need this. I need that. I'm like, lady, this is an arranged marriage. Look at you. You could go out and get all those things. It obviously wasn't working, but now you want them to pick the guy exactly the way you want him. That just ain't gonna work. That's not even real. But you know, then I guess they had to add some little drama. Like it sounded like when it was getting closer to the wedding to start, they was looking for her mother. She was like missing. It sounded like she blocked her from the phone or whatever. And I'm thinking like that's got to be fake or drama because her mother was so into the situation. There's no way that she would ghost her, even though her father didn't come because he had to take a C-19 test. And something I forgot to point out about like how I love how MAFS do the editing or and whatever because they was asking Shaquille about like on the night of wedding how you gonna approach your wife, about having consummating the marriage or whatever. He's like, really I think she should be treated respectfully. We need to take things slow and get to know each other. Then it showed a stripper flipping Kirsten up and got his face right in between her legs, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I wonder if he see that how he gonna feel about that, but. That's funny because it went from polar opposites, and I thought that was great. But what it looks like is that she's not going to be happy with Shaquille. She's into the looks, but she didn't say it like that. First, she just want a God-fearing man. I want him to read books, and I want him to do this and do that. Just be nice, and I want to rub his feet. But now she's like, I don't. I'm telling you, she's gonna be disappointed with Shaquille. Because then she started talking like little high school stuff. Well, I'm gonna give you a code. I'm gonna give a look if I don't really like him, and then if I don't like him, I'll let him kiss me on my cheek or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a mess. She had me fooled, even though she said she was picky. But I guess I didn't believe her. But she showed she was picky. So that's about it for this one. I just wanted to give my thoughts, reaction, predictions. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what y'all think, and I think this is going to be a similar season. Some dysfunctional people, some disaster matches, and I got to go with it as entertainment. Before I used to get so involved and so mad and so triggered and all that. We going to roll with it. The people want to see it, that's what I'm going to give it to you. So, as I tell y'all, I messed up my thing. Y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.